Welcome everybody to the live stream. We got some crazy news to talk about. The wildfires have already been so bad in LA, but another massive fire has just broken out. Now, before we get into this story, you know the drill, just type 1 in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear, and we'll get into today's stream. I also got a few other things to comment on, some other news to go over. So welcome everyone to the stream. Welcome Alan, welcome Martin. Thank you, Craig. All right, let's just go ahead and watch some footage while we wait for everyone to join the stream. Please like the stream as well. Let's go ahead and get into this.
So just a reminder that the 5 is shut down at the Grapevine Road and also at State Route 126. This is from CHP Newhall, alerting drivers that the 5 northbound at State Route 126 is also shut down. Let's talk about the winds, because that's the driving force for these flames. We have Sumata Khan here with our coverage, and you've been so helpful in talking about the wind speeds and what crews are up against.
Yes, good afternoon, Marla, Christine, and to everyone joining us at this hour. We have been on top of this fire since it broke out. It started very small. Wind speeds were sustained right around 15 to 20 miles an hour, but as we had forecasted since early this morning, they were under red flag conditions, now high wind warnings, and unfortunately winds are expected to get even stronger. Now we're dealing with gusts a range of 30 to 40 miles per hour in and around the Hughes Lake Hughes, the Castaic Lake around the Hughes fire area. And we're also picking up stronger gusts of up to even 51 miles an hour in and around the Santa Susana Mountains. And you could, as we are watching the visuals of all that smoke billowing in the atmosphere, and it is crossing over, again, the smoke crossing over to the 5, headed towards areas downwind into the Simi Valley area. So smoke is a big concern associated with this fire. And going back to those winds, unfortunately, we're expecting those winds to become even stronger. And I wanted to give you also an idea of the layout of this fire as we take a look at the CAL FIRE website here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, and just gives you an idea of the outline, the fire print.
Okay, so 5,000 acres currently burning right now in the Castaic Castaic Lake area.
Of the current Hughes fire, the outline red, that's the extension where the west front or west flank of the fire, it's pushing right into Castaic Lake, stopping right at the edge there, as well as the southern part of the fire. But the north flank, it continues to spread, and it is leading to additional evacuation orders and evacuation warnings. It is now encompassing.
Wow, okay, that's a big area.
Both LA County and Ventura County, and you could see how widespread and how much this fire is affecting the region. And you both had mentioned about the freeway closures, and I'm going to go ahead and go to WSI 1, if we can go switch out and show you on the map the closures that are in place. So both directions, according to CHP, north and southbound side of the 5, right there, the Castaic.
That would be the last thing you want, trying to escape a wildfire, and then the highways get closed.
Junction, that is the 126, as you pointed out, all the way through Grapevine Road. You cannot get on or off at these roadways. There are alternate routes. You can take the 138, take it all the way to the 14. The 14 freeway is open, and that's through the Antelope Valley. You can take the 14 and come back down south to get around this fire. Just a heads up if that's if you are looking.
That's terrifying, everyone, this fire coming across the highway when you're trying to escape. Welcome to everyone joining the stream. What do you guys think? Is this a mistake, or could this be more suspicions of arson like what we've seen happen over the past few weeks?
To reroute yourself, but avoid the area. We've got a very dangerous situation in terms of how widespread this fire is. Now, back to the winds. A high wind warning currently in place. You can see the wind speeds there. We're going to bump the sustained winds from 15 to 20 to eventually 30 to 40. Those gusts 50 to 60 miles an hour, and even some isolated areas could be even stronger than that. But I also wanted to point out that we're not anticipating winds to push to hurricane force as we did January 7th that tore through the Palisades fire area as well as the Eaton fire. We're going to maintain gusts around this range, but unfortunately these winds are strong enough to impact again the firefight. It's really good news to see that there are aerial assets still again being very aggressive on this fire and getting the best handle as they can under the circumstances. But as we move into the evening hours, it continues to be a really tough fight. Not only are we dealing with these strong gusty winds that will continue to drive and spread the fire and the embers downwind, potentially long range spotting that could potentially create new fires, but there are also a lot of dry vegetation out there. Relative humidity down to the single digits, so a lot of dry fuel across the region, and you couple that with topography. Fires do speed up as they're going uphill twice as fast, so you have all these weather components, unfortunately unfavorable at this hour. Wind advisories extend across areas of interior valleys. The red flag warnings have now been extended through tomorrow night, so we are not out of the woods yet.
Wow, okay, so it looks like weather alerts are going to get worse in effect through to 8 p.m. tomorrow, so we don't know how much worse this fire could get. And welcome to everyone that's just joining the stream.
In terms of how long we have to deal with the fire conditions. We are under critical fire weather. Any spark at all could have a fire become out of control, and unfortunately we're seeing that play out at the Hughes fire. Look at our future relative humidity. Single digits, 3%, 4%. Some areas could be down to even 2%. Just to give you an indication of how dry we have been, abnormally dry, unprecedented for this time of year. It's January. We should be talking about rain and storm systems, but what we have been talking about is rounds of Santa Anas, and rainfall totals so far since the beginning of the water year, only 17/100th of rain for the downtown LA area, and we are at an incredible deficit. We want the rain, we need the rain, but we don't want it all at once. And unfortunately, moving forward, after the excessive wind event, we are looking at rain chances both Saturday, Sunday through Monday, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch, and even some isolated areas could push to 1 inch of rainfall. Now that's the steady rain, but embedded in that is chance of thunderstorms. And if a thunderstorm is to roll over those burn scar areas, a slew of other issues concerning the potential for mudslides and debris flow and flash flood concerns. Hence, our local leaders working really hard to shore up, again, those vulnerable fire areas near the Palisades fire and the Eaton fire, and now we're dealing with the Hughes fire. Christine, Marla?
Well, this is absolutely insane. And there have been people being caught setting these fires and then just being released. So what do you guys think is behind it? Do you think it's just natural, or do you think all these fires erupting around LA, is it just a coincidence?
We always try to think that we welcome the rain, but there is that downside of it, having the burn scars there. We are watching some water drops and pickups here at the lake, which is amazing to see these helicopters here in action with their buckets. In the meantime, we're going to go on the ground to Matthew Seedorf, who's reporting for us. Matthew, where are you now?
Yeah, we had to push back a little bit. We're off of Hughes Road, and I can show you where we were standing on the other side of this creek. About a couple hundred yards from where we are now is now up in flames. So police made everyone push back, so this is kind of where we're standing right now. And it looks like the flames have started to jump over this creek bed. You might be able to see that, the flames right there on the other side of that tree, starting to ignite, pushing to the southwest, kind of blowing towards the 5 right now. I would estimate probably about a mile and a half from the 5. Fortunately, that is closed down, but you can see it looks like there's a bunch of cars in the pathway of where this flame appears to be headed. And it just seems to be kind of out of control with these winds that we're seeing, these gusts. I'd estimate between 30 and 40 miles per hour, pushing it that direction, and you can just hear it. It's really whipping out here. And again, about a mile or so from the 5 freeway, pushing to the southwest. We've seen firefighters pushing that way as well, also trying to play defense, but fortunately it doesn't seem like we've seen any structures in the town here impacted so far. But again, everyone's just watching this wall of fire pushing to the 5, and it looks like it jumped this creek. So that's kind of what we're seeing right now. I'll go ahead and send it back to you.
So if I just heard you correctly, Matthew, the area where you were just live from just a few minutes ago, that's now engulfed in flames?
Yeah, we were live there about 5 minutes ago on the other side of this bridge. You can maybe see some fire on the right side of the road, and we were in that parking lot on the other side of the trees, and we saw fire jump the road, and we had to get out of there, and you can see kind of just the thick smoke coming out of that parking lot we were standing in just a couple minutes ago.
We're hearing about the winds picking up from Samada there. I'm wondering what it feels like to be out there for you, noting that you've covered fires for more than a week plus now. How are you feeling there with the winds? Because it sounds like mad.
Yeah, it's definitely windy, and you could feel those gusts come in waves, and especially as the fire was getting closer, it seemed like the wind was picking up with it. It reminds me a little bit of the...
You can see the wind with the trees. Yeah, it looks very windy. When does it end, Tim? I'm not sure. We're going to see very soon.
I will say, obviously, that was such a different situation with all the structures that were being impacted, and the winds that night were unbelievable. I do say, though, that this is definitely very windy, not quite to that level, but you can see all that smoke pushing to the southwest with those winds. And again, this is the creek that we're talking about here that just jumped as the flames continue pushing southwest towards the 5 right now.
All right, Matthew, you sit tight with your crew and your photographer, and you be safe. We will...
Holy smokes, everyone. Look at that. That is absolutely insane how massive this fire is. And like they said, with the wind picking up, it's just going to get much, much worse. But I'm very suspicious on why are these fires starting all over the state so quickly in so many different areas.
We're looking at the clock right now. We are approaching the 3 o'clock hour, so we want to take a second to sort of reset as we approach the 3 o'clock hour, and we continue with this wall-to-wall continuous coverage of the Hughes fire. Here's what we've been looking at for the last several hours.
Neighborhood, my car is loaded and I'm leaving.
You can feel the heat and hear the roar.
Wow.
Look at that. Right now, the power poles up in flames.
Wow.
I packed up like my documents, any important stuff to me, and then I got my keys ready and I'm gonna go whenever I have to.
We're just spraying the house any corner, any way we can. We're just trying to spray everything.
And there have been evacuation orders in place for a number of schools.
That is insane, everyone. That's some apocalyptic scenes there. P says it only takes one match. That's right. Alan thinks it could be Chinese or deep state. We'll have to find out.
It got in Altadena, and we're not going to let this house burn up. We'll do whatever we need to do to save this guy's house. Right, buddy?
Been watching a recap, some of the breaking news we've been covering here on Fox 11 all morning long since this fire broke out. The Hughes fire around 11 o'clock. This is the Castaic area. If you know the area, you know it is.
So it's the Castaic area. That's where the fire's burning near the lake. At least, luckily, they have some more, a fair bit of water there to fight this fire. But once it gets this big, it's very hard to stop.
Is above Valencia. If you don't know the area, think of the north part of LA County when it comes to tourist areas like Magic Mountain. Right now, we are watching the fire here as it brushes up there against Castaic Lake there.
Wow.
Very concerning here as the winds have moved it from 50 acres to now more than 5,000. And Marla, we have yet to hear an update from officials. There's not yet been a news conference to get the full update as to where we stand right now.
You make a great point. Obviously, I'm sure that they're working to gather and to figure out where that unified command center will be. And as soon as we learn that, we will, of course, bring you the latest information. In the meantime, we have a whole lot of information in terms of evacuations and whether that's orders or warnings for both LA County and Ventura County that is scrolling across your screen. And then also a great resource is the Fox Local app, as we see that we see the DC-10, or maybe that is not the DC-10, but one of the aircraft out there. And it has been so great to see so much air assault happen on this Hughes fire, because we know that's not what happened during the Palisades fire or the Eaton fire. So in initial phases, and there's that Foz check. It is such a beautiful sight. Yeah, to see that as they work to get ahead of those flames. So yes, evacuation orders are on your screen. There are a whole lot of them.
Tim, it's in the forest, but a lot of people being evacuated that live near the area. And also the highways being shut down as well.
Beginning with Buscaluz.
Buscaluz, yeah.
Bitter Canyon, Cambridge, Castaic Lake, Charlie Canyon, Golden State, and I know the list goes on to Green Hill, Halsley,
as you can see in this picture, it's heading towards the suburbs.
Hillcrest, Paradise Ranch, Ridge, Romero, and I believe there's even more. Sloan, Francisquito, Kelly Johnson, Reyes Adobe, Sterling, Tesoro del Valle as well.
That is terrifying. Imagine seeing that coming towards you.
Well, so evacuation orders, there are plenty of them out there. Again, you can find all this information on the Fox Local app, on our website, foxla.com. You can also stream us if power becomes an issue. We are streamed at foxla.com/live. So we have two different shots here, one of the active flames and one of the canyons here, and then you can see the heavy smoke that is enveloping the area.
Reminded about the dry conditions out there along that 5 freeway. You can see that there are some big concerns for all that vegetation that can burn up towards the neighborhoods, the communities, which we are going to start panning over there more to see more of those communities of concern with those evacuations, with that spread, with that smoke that's carrying down to the south into other parts of LA County that are sure to be smelling this smoke, and the concerns about Thousand Oaks as well. So, sorry. Let me just say Ventura County, the Ventura County area when it comes to smoke, as the smoke is moving towards the southwest, which is to the ocean, towards the ocean.
I want to make the point that CAL FIRE, as of 1 o'clock, they have deployed 20 pre-positioned engines for hand crews for bull.
Peter saying the only thing you can do as a homeowner is to keep your place from burning, would be able to remove any fuel from your yard. That's right. That would definitely help. Mark, massive lithium deposits in locations of previous LA fires. It will be interesting to see that. I have to do some research on that.
Bulldozers and more aircraft to support the local response, and we're seeing some of that aircraft and one of those helicopters up above who will dip into Castaic Lake and make those most needed water drops. So this is one of those situations where it's crazy. CAL FIRE, it's LA County Fire, it's Angeles National Forest. It is another all hands on deck situation, and that shot from Skyfox with a huge plume of smoke, it is so daunting. Let's go to the ground though. That's where we have Fox 11's Ashley Rodriguez.
Well, I think over the few minutes we've watched it from that live footage, it's gotten way bigger in just minutes. This is why when you do get an evacuation order, even if the fire looks far away, you need to get out as fast as you can because fires can move so rapidly.
She's right there at Lake Hughes.
Especially if the winds start to pick up.
Road, what's the scene from where you are?
Hey ladies, so where I'm at is pretty much a command post of sort. There's a fire department right next to me, and this is where a lot of the fire engines are coming. And I want to move out of the way to bring your attention to this hillside. This is where all their attention is focused right now. We see active flames billowing, and what we saw when we first arrived was these flames at the top of the hillside, and in a matter of minutes, they had just come down and down, and you could see they're encroaching closer and closer. Now, the corner I'm standing on is in front of businesses, apartment complex. There are people standing by watching the flames get closer and closer to their homes. This area is under a mandatory evacuation order, but I spoke to many people who are trying to wet down their roofs. They want to stay. I spoke to one woman, Jasmine. She said that a lot of the neighbors, they just want to stay because they've been through this before. They don't feel afraid right now, even though everything that's gone on already in the past 2 weeks, they're watching and they're ready to go if they need to. But right now,
that's a massive risk because if things do get out of control, again, a fire can move much faster than you believe, especially if there's congestion. If everyone tries to get out at once, there's going to be traffic jams and it's very, very dangerous.
Now, many of them just trying to protect their homes. Now, I want to bring in Cooper here. Cooper, tell me a little bit about what this hillside has above it. What is burning?
Well, for me personally, the Lake Hills Community Church, I'm a member there, and I've been there since probably I was 6 years old or something, and so it means a lot. And there's a lot of landmarks to here, people in Castaic, like the lake, the lagoon, and even just access to it for the docks and whatnot, and some campgrounds as well. So, but a big thing for me personally, the church is huge. We know God's in control, and we know we're just hoping for the best.
And you are afraid that it could be on fire?
Yeah, I mean, from what we know, I'm not 100% sure, but it sounds like that the fire is very close. And I mean, obviously, the fire's right there. That the church is just beyond that, so we're just unsure, and just all in God's hands, yeah.
Absolutely. Now, walk me through this morning. When did you know, okay, something's not right, something's happening, I need to go?
Well, unfortunately, I was actually out in Green Valley, which is miles away, doing some work, but I didn't have service at the time. So when we finally did get service, we heard from somebody, one of the people, house we were working at, they told us there was a fire. So me and my father had to rush back here, and we thankfully made it back in time. We got some of our stuff, and we're heading out, but
and let me just move you out of the way so Joe, the photographer, can get some of these flames. You can see they're continuing to billow in this wind. Okay. There is a steady wind over here, and look at that. Look at that. It's getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
Now, when you saw the plumes of smoke, did you get afraid? Because I know when I was driving in on the 5, it just got bigger and bigger and darker, and I said to myself, I am going into the heart of what's become a wildfire in just a matter of minutes.
Just driving back from San Francisco Canyon, there was the giant plume of smoke, and it was huge. Like, it's, when you think of big things, that was...
Yes, Tim, it definitely can get hot in Australia.
The biggest thing I've ever seen, I felt like. And so coming back in to see that devastation happening so close to where you live, where you've grown up, it was definitely remarkable. It's scary at the same time, but yeah.
Now, do you know anybody who's evacuated? Do you yourself want to evacuate? Are you prepared if you need to at a moment's notice?
I'm all ready to evacuate. I have my truck over there, and I have all my stuff in there. The rest of my family's gotten their stuff, but we've found so many people. There's some ladies from our church who are homebed, and so we're just happy that they're...
So that's some of the scenes there. Let's get into this report here of the fires. So I'll go ahead and adjust myself here and go into this report. Okay. So massive new fire explodes north of LA, spreading rapidly along the I-5. So we can see the map here of the fire with burning 5,000 acres. So a massive new fire is spreading rapidly across North Los Angeles, threatening the Interstate 5, one of California's main transportation arteries. So that's exactly right. It's very, very worrying if they have to shut this down. The Hughes fire started just before 11 a.m. local time and quickly spread to more than 5,000 acres, spurring evacuation orders around the Castaic Lake area in North Los Angeles County. So all lanes on the I-5 highway are now closed north of the SR 126 in the evacuation area, and the critical link between Northern and Southern California is affected by heavy smoke, as we can see in this picture here. Now, Cal Fire said there was an immediate threat to life, with many already speculating that the latest fire was not spontaneous, but it was the product of arson. And this is what I've been talking about. There has been many people in LA starting fires, whether it is crazy people, homeless people starting fires, or this is actually an attack on the state. We need more answers. So the reservoir is about 45 miles from Pacific Palisades, where a devastating fire killed 11 people and destroyed more than 6,380 structures and damaged another 867 since it ignited about 2 weeks ago. So I'll go ahead and play this clip here. We have a new fire growing and prompting evacuation orders in a Castaic Lake area. I'll go ahead and play it here.
Hughes Road. 3 of these helicopters flew out of Whiteman Airport in Pacoima along with News Chopper 4. I'm hearing on the scanner they called for 2 additional tankers. I'm going to zoom back wide and show you what we are seeing out the helicopter window. This is massive, and this is growing before our eyes. This is not like that small brush fire that we covered yesterday or the one before that. this is something to be concerned about.
That's exactly right, everyone. This is massive, and they're saying the situation could get worse up until 9 p.m. tomorrow. So in a post on X, Los Angeles County Supervisor Catherine Vargas said, the country's fire department is deploying our aerial fleet to knock this out as quickly as possible. So that's right, we saw that in the footage, the live footage. Luckily, there is a lake right next to it. But the thing is, once fires get this bad, it's very, very hard to stop. So that they'll have to make their cut out. So they'll have a cut out for them, according to National Weather Service. Winds are gusting to 37 miles per hour just to the north of the fire, and a red flag warning issued from National Weather Service said wind gusts from 35 to 50 miles per hour will be common over much of Los Angeles and Ventura counties, ensuring a rapid spread. So that's exactly right, everyone. This is just the beginning, and we'll have to see how bad this gets. I'll see if there's any more updates here. We'll go ahead and get into it.
Moving to the southwest towards the 5 freeway. It's called the Hughes Fire. As we continue to look at the map there, gives you a picture. If you know the area, you know it well. You know Lake Hughes Road, you know the 5 freeway. Many people just know that area as they...
Mark's saying there is patients for electric fire suppression systems using frequency electromagnetic waves to put out fires. No need for water. They have the ability to put these out quickly. Yeah, I have seen some technology where they are working on that. I'm going to have to do some more research on that after this video.
Pass through the 5 freeway going to Central or Northern California. Others know the area for perhaps Magic Mountain, a vacation spot.
Yeah.
But this is an area where a lot of people live. They like that they're not quite in the city of Los Angeles. They love the beautiful mountain ranges there. They love the warmer temperatures. They love that view of California that is a little bit different from other parts. The mountains are gorgeous to drive through, especially on a beautiful sunny California day. But then you have the fire risk. Very hot there, very dry there, as it is all across Southern California. And
okay, so there we have it, everyone. That's a quick breaking news update. I will definitely keep you guys updated on the situation that is happening here. If things do get worse, I can go ahead and do another video or do another live stream. So thanks for watching, everyone. You're awesome. I'll see you all in the next video.